Welcome back. New at noon, the gunman who shot and killed 11 people at a Pittsburgh synagogue back in 2018 sentenced to death by a federal jury. Prosecutors argued for the death sentence, specifically noting the gunman's hatred for Jewish people and ongoing lack of remorse. The defense urging the jury to consider mercy. 50-year-old Robert Bowers found guilty of 63 charges back in June. Remember, in 2018, he stormed into the Tree of Life synagogue, perpetrating the deadliest anti-Semitic attack in United States history.
Residents of the Bastrop area no longer have to worry about another wildfire destroying the countryside. Unlike the devastating fire there 10 years ago, firefighters say the powder keg fire just east of town is no longer growing. People had to leave dozens of homes yesterday. However, those evacuations have since been lifted. And as of this morning, the fire was about 50% contained. Still, it's burned about 100 acres so far. Now, back in 2011, very similar drought conditions and record heat created one of the costliest fires in Bastrop ever recorded in U.S. history.
All right, speaking of those drought conditions, Justin, not a clouded sky from this perspective. Are we going to get any rain anytime soon?
Not anytime soon. And I remember that fire very well in 2011. And that came on the heels of a tropical system that moved in around East Texas. The backside of that got some gusty winds, knocked down some wiring there, and caused obviously a huge fire there in Bastrop. So thankful that it's not the same this go round. But we do think fire conditions could worsen as we head into the fall if we get some fronts that don't produce any rain and we get some gusty winds. Hey, I want to take you back out to that incident there on I-37. It does look like we're getting one lane moving through now. They're still working on a rollover there, 18-wheeler along Interstate 37. This is in southern Bexar County at Farms Market Road 536 near mile marker 117. So traffic is slowly getting through, but that is definitely a trouble spot if you're coming into San Antonio along I-37. High pressure still very much in control. You see it's anchored there over northeast Texas, and it's keeping any sort of rain out of the forecast for us, and it's putting in a lot of heat advisories and excessive heat warnings. Those stretch from Corpus Christi up to Oklahoma City, Wichita, Shreveport, Little Rock, you name it. There's going to be a ton of hot temperatures today. And that includes here in San Antonio, where we are forecasting to be up around 103, heat index somewhere around 104, 105. Probably takes until 8 p.m. tonight for us to get those temperatures back below 100. Coming up, we're going to look at the Guadalupe River. River flows are not good, and they are dropping. We'll show you what they look like coming up here in just a couple minutes, guys.
Thank you, Justin.
Thank you, Justin. Donald Trump due in court tomorrow. So this comes after a federal grand jury indicting him on 4 counts related to efforts of overturning the 2020 election. ABC's Justin Finch details the former president's latest legal troubles as he is now facing his 3rd indictment on criminal charges.
Special counsel Jack Smith breaking his silence about his latest indictment of former President Trump, alleging Trump knew he lost the 2020 election but was determined to remain in power anyway, and that Trump was at the center of a conspiracy to prevent the peaceful transfer of power on January 6th.
The attack on our nation's capital on January 6th, 2021 was an unprecedented assault on the seat of American democracy. As described in the indictment, it was fueled by lies.
The 45-page, 4-count indictment accusing Trump of conspiracy to defraud the United States, conspiracy to obstruct an official proceeding, specifically the January 6th congressional certification of election results showing Biden won. Trump also accused of obstruction of an official proceeding and conspiracy against rights, or depriving the people of their right to vote and having their votes count. The special counsel also alleging Trump enlisted 6 unnamed co-conspirators. ABC News identifying some of them, which are likely to include former Trump attorneys Rudy Giuliani and John Eastman. Trump's lawyer firing back, insisting Trump's free speech rights are being criminalized and that he did not believe he lost the election and was acting on his lawyer's counsel.
The reality is that everything that Mr. Trump requested to be done was done with the advice of counsel, was done with lawyers giving him advice.
But some legal experts are challenging Trump's lawyers' arguments, saying one may not be able to rely on attorney advice as a defense if those attorneys are also co-conspirators. Trump has denied any wrongdoing. Justin Finch, ABC News, Washington.
So, the Republican primary debate, it is August 23rd. It's in Milwaukee, and to qualify candidates, you need to pass pretty strict polling and donor requirements set by the Republican National Committee. But now, even before the first one happens, the RNC planning to impose even stricter rules for presidential candidates to make the second debate. According to a person familiar with the new criteria, well, candidates need at least 3% in 2 national polls, or they need 3% in 1 national poll and 2 polls from separate early voting states. Candidates also have to have a minimum of 50,000 unique voters with at least 200 donors in 20 different states. These metrics, well, that increases the requirements for the first debates in Milwaukee, again, August 23rd. The second debate set for September 27th at the Ronald Reagan Presidential Library in California.
The U.S. private sector adding more jobs than expected last month. That's according to a company that processes payroll. It shows private sector companies added 324,000 jobs in July. The company ADP reports that the job gains were mostly in the leisure and hospitality fields, with financial and manufacturing industries reporting losses. But it's important to note that while ADP report sometimes is viewed as a proxy for the overall hiring activity, it doesn't always align with the government's monthly jobs report. The Bureau of Labor Statistics is set to release its July jobs report on Friday.
Russian drones have hit a Ukrainian port city along the border with Romania, causing significant damage and a huge fire at facilities that are key to Ukrainian grain exports. Russia hammering the country's ports with strikes since halting a deal that would allow Ukrainian shipments to world markets through the city of Odessa. In just the past 2 weeks, dozens of drones and missile attacks hitting targets of the port of Odessa and even regional river ports, which are actually used as alternative routes to try to get exports out of the country.
A typhoon in Japan, no longer growing, but it did bring some heavy rainfall and damaging winds to that island country. The storm moving northwest, it is forecast to continue to track over toward the west in the next 24 hours and then weaken to a Category 2 Atlantic hurricane. The storm could then stall before taking a northeast track over more islands. The typhoon expected to continue to weaken, potentially being a tropical storm about 5 days from now. The outer bands, though, could still be impacting eastern China as the storm slows down and stalls out.
And the ban on bulbs, America's ban on incandescent light bulbs, has been a long time coming, 16 years in the making. For the most part, it is now a reality. The rule was issued back in 2007, then rolled back by the Trump administration, updated last year by the Biden administration, went fully into effect on Tuesday. It bans the sale of most incandescent light bulbs. The rule requires that light bulbs emit a minimum of 45 lumens of light per watt. The rule is meant to increase overall energy efficiency, save consumers money on your utility bills, and of course, cut planet warming carbon emissions. If you still have incandescent light bulbs, well, you can keep them as long as they work.
A woman who was trying to film a sewing tutorial ending up catching something much more interesting for her viewers in the background of her story. Oof, we'll show it to you. It may have been the most excitement ever seen in a sewing class. A woman giving an online sewing tutorial had her session abruptly interrupted when a car careened into her yard and crashed right outside the window behind her.
She didn't even stop the camera. It was all caught on camera, but it was quite the excitement, I gotta say. CNN's Jeannie Mose has the entire tale all caught on tape.
This is my sewing room.
Jen Wesner is a sewing blogger who was recording an instructional video when someone crashed her session, literally.
You can do it with trim. It gives you lines where you can put the trim in.
Things fell off the walls. Jen froze for a few seconds, then ran to the rescue. Moments later, she was at the door of the car.
All I saw were airbags. So I kept saying, "Are you okay? Are you okay?"
She was okay. Jen says the driver worked for a food delivery service. She got out of the car and walked around outside the Northport, Florida home using her phone.
Cars are always flying into houses, it seems, but you don't usually get to see it from the house point of view.
Here are both views.
Trim, it gives you lines where you can put the trim.
The car ran a stop sign, then hit a drainage ditch that sent it airborne. It landed about 4 feet from the house. The ditch saved the day.
One of the cops said had that been less of an incline, she would have gone into the house.
Northport police couldn't say if she was ticketed, but a driving school asked to use the video as an example of an epic fail. Jen says the driver apologized again and again for landing in her yard, but the funny part involved the painting with a Bible verse.
I think the funniest thing was that the painting waited to fall off the wall. It was like, oh yeah, me too.
Better a sewing video that leaves you in stitches rather than needing stitches. Jeannie Mose, CNN, New York.
I mean, the best part about it is that no one was hurt.
I was about to say, we're making a joke about it, but that could have been.
Well, how many times have we covered stories about vehicles into homes? But I got to tell you, Justin, we were talking earlier. If you have things to do, it's probably best to do them before noon.
Yeah, you should have already gotten them done.
It's true. It's true. You know what I was thinking? We all have cameras now, right? Everywhere. There's cameras everywhere. So we're going to start seeing a lot of more of this stuff happening on camera.
From 2 different views.
It's crazy. You're right. Get outside. Well, don't get outside. Hopefully, you've already got all your outdoor stuff done because temperatures are cranking up quick. 91 technically at the airport. That was at the top of the hour. Will probably be much higher than that by the end of the hour. 103 is the record high set back in 2011. That is in jeopardy today. We'll take a look at the 7-day forecast coming up.
Well, welcome back. Happy Wednesday. Although it seems like we're just going through day after day after day of the same kind of weather.
Is it Wednesday?
Groundhog Day at this point,
just
Justin.
like Tuesday.
You know, Justin's a huge fan of Puxatawny Phil.
Really?
Yeah, he has a poster of him and everything.
Aren't most meteorologists fans?
He's
also
great.
the Farmer's Almanac.
He's great.
Justin reads it every
Wow.
day.
Okay, let's not go there. Too soon. No, we're not. We're not going to jump into those.
Kind of an inside joke.
Let's take a look at the Guadalupe River, actually. And this is unfortunately not great news. But as we look at the stream flow around Kerrville, it's down to 3 cubic feet per second, and Comfort and Spring Branch down to 0. Okay, so there could still be some water in there, but it's not flowing. You get past the dam, we've got 70 cubic feet per second there in New Braunfels. Not a great number either, but it's still at least flowing, of course, from the release from the dam. But this just goes to show you that we are getting into a pretty serious situation. We were checking out on Comal Springs too. They're still flowing, but these numbers are getting awful low. Man, some rain would be great, but it has mainly just been heat that we've been dealing with. And if you take into account today's forecast, which we feel pretty certain will be above 100 this afternoon, that puts us in 5th place now for most 100-degree days in a year. I feel fairly certain that we'll be jumping into 4th place here soon. So then the question becomes, do we catch 2011, 2022, and 2009? We don't want to, but it's possible just the way this summer has gone. Those 3 years lead the way. And notice that all of these years were very, very dry, drought-type years. So stands to reason. 91 right now. Dew point is at 68. Thankfully, that number's falling off a little bit. Heat index is at 95. We've got a southerly breeze at about 5 and no cloud cover at the moment. The heat index, what it feels like, 99 at Canyon Lake, 101 New Braunfels, 97 Stinson, 102 is what it feels like in Devine right now. Heat indices will be above 100 area-wide here within the next couple of hours. So just know that if you're going to be out and about. 102 at 3 o'clock, 103 at 4 p.m., 102 at 6 p.m. We're still in the triple digits at 7 o'clock. It's mostly sunny. Winds will pick up a little bit this evening. You'll see southeasterly breezes, maybe gusting to about 20 or so during the evening hours. It is another CPS Energy yellow day, conserving energy between 3 and 8 p.m. Helpful Texas grid will be taxed again today. And you can do things like charge electric vehicles at night after 10 o'clock, adjust thermostats to minimize HVAC usage. I know that's not always a fun thing to do, but some things we can all do together to help conserve electricity. As we look at the big picture here, our ridge still very much in control. Everything's traveling up and around that ridge. We've got some very good heavy rain around St. Louis. They've been getting some flooding issues there with this rain that's been rather persistent, but that's what we see with ridges. The rain typically is kind of right around the edges as these disturbances work around the ridge. Nothing here in Texas other than a shower or two down there in the valley. And I'd love to tell you that it's getting better, but almost in a way gets a little bit worse because our high pressure builds some, it strengthens, and so that brings our temperatures up. This will try to slide west a little bit, still strong enough though where it has a lot of influence on our forecast until maybe we get to Wednesday, Thursday next week. Maybe it moves out of the way just enough to bring temperatures down a little bit. We'll see. Not going to jump on that bandwagon just yet. 103 today, 103 tomorrow, 104 Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and we could go as high as 105 by Monday and Tuesday. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. Head to KSAT12 right now. Here's something that'll grab all the Spurs fans' attention. Look at this. The team auctioning off autographed items from 3 Alamo City legends commemorating their enshrinement into the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame. Let's take a look. We got autographed items from Tony Parker, Coach Pop, Becky Hammond. The auction opened last night. For more information on the items for sale and the prices, just head to the article on KSAT.com. Look at that. I'm going to be honest. Seeing all 3 enter the Hall of Fame puts a smile on my face almost as much as checking in with our friends at SA Live.
Wait, they've taken off the shades.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
And see, it puts a smile on my face because Fiona's back. We're having a little time off. We're back to
Yes! Are you ready for some tropical island vibes?
Yes, indeed. And Shannon Schumacher from Kid Crate Studio has just what we need to go to the tropics, right?
Yes, so summer's almost over, but we are ready for a tropical creative vacation with the kids.
All right, we're going to tell you all about that coming up.
Yes, and Jen takes us out to a new restaurant on the northwest side, and we are brunching it up.
All right, speaking of really, really good food, our dear friend Shailene McNeil with Beef Lovin' Texans is here. What are we making today?
We are going to do a kebab, and I've got an awesome, easy hack about slicing, whether it be kebabs or steak strips. Keep your steak a little frozen, just slightly thawed, and it'll be nice and firm, so easy to make those perfect kebabs or steak strips.
What a great idea. I love that.
How about celebrating a birthday? Oh yes, Kyle Gola from PJ's Coffee is here.
Everybody can have birthday cake on their birthday, right?
Yes, of course. And we have our own, but not that birthday cake coffee.
We are going to make birthday cake coffee and talk about some of the other great flavors they have. Speaking of coffee,
How sweet do you like your coffee or tea? Weigh in, of course, on our SA Live poll and let us know.
do you like it as sweet as Fiona?
Oh, stop.
Or
What
as
did you
bitter
do?
as me? So-
What did you do?
What?
You did something.
More on SA Live coming up.